is not 6969?
Howdy, folks. Welcome to Retsutalk episode... I'm not sure. And let me explain why I'm not sure. You may be curious. You may notice that I sound slightly different. And is it because I grew recently as a person? Is it because I am in a tunnel? Is it because I'm being held hostage somewhere? No. I am in a foreign land right now. I have briefly immigrated from the South to, on a personal journey, I'd like to say, to the slightly more northern South of the Great Plains of Tennessee. I'm currently in Nashville on a remote location assignment for a podcast. And I happen to have a friend, a very dear friend, a personal friend. You know, none of these internet friend things, not these fakers I'm talking about. No, this is some real shit. We go back, this gentleman and I, and I'll say who you are in a few minutes, but I have to say my piece first. So much has happened this week. This is the first post-E3 podcast, and my friend, who is here, who is sitting next to me in real life, who, I'll say who you are soon, very soon, don't laugh, that's rude. We have a lot of E3 news to cover, and my friend, my dear close friend, my dear southern friend of mine, is also a gamer nerd, much more so than me, much more so than maybe a lot of people that you know. This guy has, I'm looking to my left, I see an Xbox One. I see on top of it a PS3, which is turned on, but not playing. For some, I'll get to you.
God damn it.
I'll get to you.
I apologize.
Keep in mind who the host is. Okay, I think we kind of established the boundaries and the role here. Like, you mean nothing to me. I know we said we're friends, but I could not give less of a shit about you. Just looking at you disgusts me. Let me go on and explain what I see. I see a stack of CDs. It's not music bullshit. It's not hipster shit. I'm not seeing Vampire Weekend CDs stacked on top of each other. No, these are games. Stacks of games that is as thick as like a college textbook. Well, an 8th grade textbook maybe, of Xbox 360 games, Xbox One games, PS3 games. To the left of that there is a Sega Saturn, or a Sega Dreamcast. What is wrong with me? And please don't interrupt. It was on the tip of my tongue. Sega Dreamcast. Next to that is a classic Wii U controller, 2 Wiimotes. On the ground are 2 things, I don't even know what those are. Right there, what are those things?
I can speak now?
No, that was
a rhetorical
that was a rhetorical question. You know, it's just kind of a philosophical question to the audience. What do you guys think these things could be that I'm not describing at all? Take some guesses. It's the interactive portion of the show. And then next, on either side of those things, 2 more Dreamcast controllers, a binder which is filled with notes. I'm presuming they're about video games. And then to the left of that, there is a shelf with PS2 games. Under that, 360 games. What I'm trying to say, there's a long-winded way to go about this. This guy knows gaming. This guy has followed E3 more closely than any of you live-tweeting fakers. I'm looking on his computer screen right now. Now, bear in mind, this is a Mac. So, you know, he's obviously a console gamer. But this Mac has a Google Doc, which is filled with neatly organized bulleted notes about every single conference at this godforsaken convention that everyone, such as myself, has such snarky reactions to. But I thought, while I was on my personal journey here in Tennessee, and I should say, this is Nashville, Tennessee. And they call Nashville, and again, I'll get to who you are soon. Nashville is called the Music City. And let me tell you why. Nobu Uematsu. Heard of him?
Absolutely.
Don't talk. I heard of him. He does all of his work from Nashville. You may not know that. Mitsuda records everything here in Nashville. maybe you heard of a guy called Harry Gregson Williams. Does all this stuff here in Nashville. It's called the Music City because it is where all of the music of video games comes from. All the audio you heard at E3 was imported from Nashville. It was not, you were not hearing them actually talk. They were just really well dubbed. That's why they call Nashville the Music City. And with me to discuss E3, discuss our thoughts on E3, our likely biased thoughts that you should not take seriously whatsoever because we're not gaming journalists, is my friend. We'll call him Scad. How you doing, man? Okay, I'm gonna delete that part out. It's rude. You don't burp on the show.
I'm sorry. I'm actually a little confused. Is this not KTRX?
What's KTRX?
I just came in here to request Quad City DJs. Can I ride that choo-choo train? That was a song, right?
Yeah, we'll probably recorded in Nashville, if I had to guess.
That's correct.
Because it is the musical city. Also, musicals are also, like, Broadway musicals are all done in Nashville.
Oz was shot, like, in my backyard.
Yeah.
Shot. And then they turned that movie into a play. Little known fact.
Yeah, all correct. So, tell me your enthusiasm for E3, your enthusiasm for gaming. Tell us about your gaming journey, where you came from, how you have this bulleted list of E3 bullet points. Why so dedicated? Why such a fanboy of games?
Shit, I guess I'll just do some real talk right now.
Let's do some real talk. Let's get real.
All right, I like this. It really began when I was, let's see, 4 years old. I guess I would have been when the NES came out.
Yeah, I can vouch for that.
Can you?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was there.
You've always been there watching me, haven't you? Throughout my entire life. You were around the corner, like...
Every time you got a new game, I would peek up around the corner, and a small 8-bit tear would roll down my cheeks.
Because everything back then was 8-bit.
Everything was 8-bit.
What we don't realize is we're living in a world right now where everything is slowly just becoming more realistic.
You never noticed that in the early 90s, how things just kind of looked off.
Remember when things were black and white?
Remember when you could only move in two directions?
And now it's horrible.
And then the PS3 360 gen came out, and then suddenly we started seeing each other in a bit of a different light.
I mean, it's honestly, that's Oculus Rift's goal, is to take us to the next dimension that we're missing right now, right?
So
what were we talking about? I'm sorry, I'm off track.
Your personal journey into games, talking about getting an NES at age 4.
Yeah, absolutely. So we went in some furniture store when I'm 4, and my mom's looking at couches and stuff, and it was, I don't know why, but they had a Nintendo set up and they had Contra on it.
In a furniture store?
Yeah, in a furniture store. It was a really kind of weird thing. I can't even remember. I think it was like a family-owned furniture store, and they just thought, hey, look at this hip new thing. We'll put it in here for the kids to play or whatever. And it worked because while Mom shopped for furniture, I played my very first video game, which was Contra.
Furniture Builder Simulator. It was like Tetris,
yes.
But you put furniture strategically in different rooms.
Exactly. It was actually the predecessor to Tetris.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, it was a higher quality version because there were like long sofas and the small love seat L shape.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
the
weird toilet looking piece.
The etagere, the long piece.
Oh, that is good. Good vocabulary.
Thank you. So from there, it just kind of she thought I was too young for one. She came around the corner, saw me playing Contra, and like I'm 4, and I'm like at the first boss, like that wall thing, you know.
Right.
And so she's like, "Oh my God, this kid has a natural affinity for this. I must make it blossom."
He has the gift.
Exactly. She thought I was going to be in The Wizard too. Actually, that was her goal. She said, "I'm going to send this kid to the Nintendo Championships."
Do those exist back in?
Absolutely. The Wizard is a documentary.
Okay.
Few people realize this.
I didn't know that. That's good.
So I guess after that, she got me a NES for Christmas that year, even though she thought earlier he's too young. But then that was the impetus for her to get me one. And I got Mario and everything, and Final Fantasy 1, and those are really my first 2 games. Of course, Duck Hunt,
Of course.
And my parents loved that. So it's almost like back then it was like the Wii for the parents. Then.
Parents are actually professional duck hunters.
That's true.
Is my understanding.
And actually, my father has professional experience hunting ducks. He was pretty dang good at Duck Hunter. Let me tell you.
Duck Hunter.
Duck Hunter. Hunt her.
Hunter. So your enthusiasm just blossomed from there, more or less. You were hooked.
It just went wild. Let me tell you. You don't even want to know some of the experiences.
Why don't they make a Gamers Gone Wild? Have you ever wondered that?
I don't know. Because there's not a Joe Rogan yet. Wait, Joe Rogan. I think I'm
not a Joe Rogan for surely there is.
I think I'm getting that mixed up with who's the guy who did Girls Gone Wild? What was his name?
Reggie Fils-Aimé.
That little known fact right before we started getting into
it's on his Wikipedia page.
So it must be true.
So it must be.
So anyway, yeah, just one of my some real talk again. One of my best memories of my entire life is, and I still have them actually just over here in laminate to keep them safe, are my mom's drawings that she used to do for me. She was my strategy guide.
Oh, really?
Before they existed. So we played Legend of Zelda, and block by block she would draw as I entered a room the map. And then she would put where the key was, and she would put where the boss was, and like what strategy I needed to use to like kill the first 3-headed dragon and stuff for that. Like, she didn't really play games beyond the very first Mario, but she helped me to continue to play like that.
And she still does this today, by the way.
She's in the room right now. She's actually signing at me.
Furiously etching like Titanfall things. Like, I cannot keep up drawing this. You're moving a little too fast. Just hang on.
Yes, absolutely.
Which button's the guns and which is the cloaker?
So then, long story short, here I am. All that stuff that you just described that's around the room.
Yep.
So
last E3.
So I'm a gamer.
Ugh.
I'm a real gamer. How about that?
That's better, thank you.
Yeah,
it was your lack of the real that really turned me off there.
Right. Exactly.
Oh, he's one of those posers.
I had to make you believe it, right?
So, E3 of last year. Wii was already out. New consoles were coming out. There's a lot of criticism across, especially Microsoft, I remember.
Yes.
Well, Sony less so. But now here we are. The consoles have been out for a while. Now it's becoming more about the games.
Right.
It's now about sell me your console. Even the Wii U, in some cases, because it had up till recently not been doing all that well. So give me your general impression of how E3 left you. Was it hollow? Was it excited? Was it optimistic?
Yes.
All the above.
Yes.
Yes.
In a way, yes, absolutely. Because I really expected either Microsoft to come out swinging so hard that they would switch the game, that they would finally kind of come back and say we can recapture what we had last gen. I think that's still possible for them, but I kind of almost expected to see that. So that left me, as a person who chose a 360 last time, even though I got a PS3, I never really played it all that much. I decided to go 360 route, so I'm kind of invested in Microsoft. As stupid as it is, I'm invested in achievements, not trophies. So that's why I want to stay with the one, and I want to be optimistic about the one. And so that left me a little hollow.
Okay.
Absolutely, Nintendo's conference left me, or their digital event.
Thank you.
Left me.
Call yourself a real gamer?
A real gamer.
Real. Let's get real. Keep being real, please.
I'm sorry.
In my general direction.
I keep turning the reel off. I'm sorry. And I'm drifting away, too. Like, I'm over here.
Be as real as real player, which is everyone's multimedia playback device of choice.
I've never gotten off of real player.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't want to... Can I cuss on this?
Would
you prefer that I do not cuss on this?
Well, you have a very southern accent, so like
No,
much more,
I don't.
much
What
more
are you
pronounced
saying?
than.
I don't understand what you're saying. No
People make
one-
fun of me for being from the South, but they have not heard my friends. Not just you, but just other people, like mutual friends of ours. We both know their accents would make you. I guess you would find them charming. All these damn Yankees who listen to this show. I don't know who listens to this. Maybe there are some Southern people who listen to this as well. But you can curse as long as it's like dagnabbit and things of that sort.
Oh, okay.
You piece of fuck.
See, I hadn't heard you say that yet, so I was like kind of nervous. I was like, I think I said God dang it a second ago when I really wanted to.
Sometimes when you get real, you don't have to use the duty word. Sometimes when you get real, do you think these duty words are real? When you say your POS and other similar things, that's not real, man. This we have right here, this is real.
Right.
So again, I'll request a second time. Please continue being real.
Okay. Well, God fucking damn it, what were we talking about?
Well, let's just bank off of what you were saying about Microsoft for a bit. So,
okay, yeah, let's...
So you mentioned 360, you're a bit of dedicated to them, so let's go into their conference a bit more. So, the big thing, stark difference this year compared to last year, in that they immediately came out the gate, and I remember this, the head of Xbox came out, and the first thing he said was, games, and like, incredible applause. It's that easy.
Yep.
And that's because of I guess they're listening, obviously. The reception of last year when they were talking about the Xbox One more as a platform for multimedia entertainment with TV, Netflix, very non-game oriented things occupied a large part of the conference last time.
And coming out of the gate saying all the things they said about DRM and required internet connection and all that kind of thing.
And of course, at the time, the Kinect was required.
They hurt themselves before they even got there with all that. So
this time, they said it'll be all games for 90 minutes, and I'm pretty sure they didn't stray from that at all, did they? It was
Not one bit.
It was all...
The only thing was like the 5-second thing saying that in Halo 5 you'll get that little animated series by Ridley Scott. And so that's the thing, but that's just going to bridge into Halo 5. So it's really just a thing that comes on this Master Chief collection disc.
It'll be just like the Super Mario Brothers Super Show, but with Halo, is how I understand
absolutely,
it.
yeah. Like Lou Albano. Well, they're going to graze him from the grave.
Put him in an awkwardly fitting Master Chief costume and have him do little sketches in an apartment with...
Didn't Luigi die too? Isn't he dead too, that actor? Oh my God.
Rest in peace, yeah.
I'm so sorry.
Wouldn't that be great if you had like do it like the Mario Brothers Super Show, though. You have like an awkward sketch kind of thing at first that is not really at all related to what the canon is about.
Right.
With Master Chief just, like, what would Master Chief's occupation be in real life, do you think?
Oh, God.
Would it be like maybe like a Beetle Bailey kind of lazy soldier guy?
Oh, I don't know. I'm trying to think of something good, but all I can come up with is like fry cook. So, I don't know.
Would you eat at a fast food place where everyone had to dress as Master Chief?
Yes. Every day of my life. I would never leave that place. I would want to work there, actually.
They could only be in the awkward animations of Master Chief when they're serving you food.
Oh, well, you forgot to tell the people when you were telling them who I was that I had a suit.
Oh yeah, you've also cosplayed before. I forgot to say, yeah, you like, this is not just a Master Chief costume you purchased somewhere. This is one you made yourself, right, from scratch.
Right. Like I said before, I'm a real game cosplay.
If you don't make your own costumes and you play video games, then guess what? You're less than 20% of the way there. Okay, you gotta dress the part as well.
Right.
Please.
Yes.
But anyway, going back to Microsoft's conference, and I'm pulling up my Twitter here to help refresh my memory a little bit. So, one of the first things they showed was, a Call of Duty thing.
Right. I turned my brain off for. I'm so done with Call of Duty in every respect that there can be.
So they started off with lots of what you would expect. A lot of the stereotypes of video games, like here's the brown and green guns game, here's the intense car racing game, here is the... but then, after a while, they did give some bit of a head nod to the indie stuff.
Yes, the ID at Xbox stuff, that's very encouraging. I really hope that they do catch up to Sony's commitment to indie developers. And I think they can. I think they can. They're only really now a year behind because I think they've garnered enough attention at this E3, good press for the most part too, that because they were all about games this time, and so it's them saying that a AAA game is no better, with 100 employees, is no better than what a 5 or 10 person team can put out these days. Right. And they want to embrace that, and they want to show people that they're going to, like PlayStation originally did. So in a way, I think they really kind of are having to copy Sony in a lot of ways at this point.
Playing catch up.
Yeah, but that's what you have to do, and good on them for it.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. So instead of going step by step through the conference, since it is a bit muddy for me since it has been a few days, why don't we just talk about, from your perspective, just general highlights, things you were excited about. Maybe we go there.
Yeah, absolutely. Because I've got a few here that really stood out to me. How did you feel about Sunset Overdrive?
I don't know. It seemed almost too quirky. Like, it has a definite charm to it that I think will appeal to some people, for sure. Mm-hmm. But as far as, like, intriguing me into getting an Xbox One, I was like, eh.
Yeah.
It's like, I remember the 90s pretty well,
right.
I'm good.
It's the same reason that you probably wouldn't have bought a Dreamcast for Jet Grind Radio. Because to me, it seems a whole lot like it's Tony Hawk or Jet Grind Radio, or even the sliding on poles in Ratchet and Clank. It's that game, only you have guns.
Yeah, the snark of it was a bit...
And, yeah, the over-the-top...
A bit much.
They're trying too hard, really.
Yeah, that was kind of my impression.
So, yeah. That stood out to me in a way that it looks like it could be all right gameplay-wise, but I didn't like the direction that they're going with a lot of the art and stuff in that one. So,
okay, so maybe you can talk about this a bit more. So I've not played Dead Rising 3. You have. You're a big Dead Rising fan, big zombie fan in general.
Yes.
Should add. So how did you feel about this new Dead Rising thing?
The Super EX.
Super duper arcade.
Oh, I had it up, man. I should have left that up so I
Let's just make up our own term for it. Super Arcade Turbo Deluxe Edition DLC plus word part
number one
edition pre
minus the square root of 9, which is 3. So
part 4. So that was probably the exact title. I think it was. Memory's starting to come back to me right now.
Yeah.
So how'd you feel about it?
I really think that's the first DLC that I've seen that is interesting.
I figured, is it standalone or is it?
I don't think it is. I don't really know. Maybe I'm misremembering, but I feel like maybe they didn't really show the gameplay so much as much as they showed that, hey, look, you can be everybody from any of the Capcom games pretty much. And so I don't know if that's just the thing that's going to be available throughout the entire game now, or is it? Do you know that if there's going to be like a standalone new single player kind of mode for it?
I can't remember off the top of my head.
Okay, that would be awesome if there were. Yeah. So, but Dead Rising 3 as a game is probably the pinnacle of Dead Rising in my opinion, even though 2 was really good.
Yeah.
And I love 1 just for how it began the whole series, and it had the different type of gameplay with the clock and everything. It's just a cool game, so I'm glad there's a different kind of DLC coming out for it. A silly but still maybe fun.
And you actually touched on something that kind of tempered my enthusiasm for E3 as a whole. This is always the case. It's not unique to this particular one, but it's like trailers, but then there's just not enough to be like, what is it like to play?
Trailers they're really bad right now at showing you exactly what you just said. It's showing
like,
you
here's the maximum graphical output we can provide you that'll make you be like, ooh, pretty.
But show me in a visual way what it will feel like when I have that controller in my hand and I'm playing it myself.
Yeah, that's always been
it's always been a problem.
Yeah.
Especially now with most of not just now, but I can't believe it's still happening with the graphical the parody that we have now. That they're still doing CG trailers and teasers, like the Mortal Kombat X one.
Mm-hmm.
They had an outside firm do that little short trailer, which was awesome and great.
Look at how many ways you can break the skull.
Exactly. And then the game that's coming out really just looks like Mortal Kombat 9, and it's not nearly as good as that trailer was. So of course they have to build hype like that, but then you have the expectation that now that graphical parody is where it is that there shouldn't be these pre-rendered, like like the thing that happens that one year. I can't remember what it was. I think it was E3 2010. When was Killzone 3 first introduced? But you remember the thing with that one, right? When when they came out and they said, yes, this is what it will look like.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And it didn't. I think maybe I'm getting on a tangent here, but I hate how, I think at this point trailers should just be in engine, is what I guess I'm trying to say. Like, the graphics look good enough now that they just need to do that so that they don't try to trick us anymore.
Yeah, I remember, like, say Metal Gear Solid 4. That was the first game I can remember. This was 2008, I think. Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's where you have the cutscene, then the camera shifts, and you're seamlessly in the gameplay. And I remember thinking, oh, so this is going to be the standard now.
Right.
But not really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so many games now come out to where your expectations are way higher, and then you open that game and pop it in, and it's just nothing like what you thought it was going to be because of that. Mm-hmm.
So that's our rant.
Damn it.
Let us run E3 next year.
Shit.
Let us run all everyone's conference. I know it might be a potential conflict of interest if Sony, Microsoft, and Nintendo hire us simultaneously to. We find a way to make it to coach them. We'll be your marketing director and your marketing director and your marketing director.
Come here, Reggie. Come here, Iwata. Come here, what's his name?
Mario.
Mario. Hey, Charles Martinet, get in here. We got to talk to you. Let's give him some tips.
He also works in their marketing department.
Hey, what do you think, Miyamoto, if we do these?
No, it's too soon for DLC.
What is a DLC? This is in Japan. We don't know.
We like your opinion, but can you say it as Luigi? Maybe that would come across there.
It's Luigi.
That's pretty good.
Thank you.
And in fact, we should reveal Scat is in fact Charles Martin.
Thanks for having me on.
Naturally, very, very southern accented man. Actually, you would not know that.
I am just so good at voices.
At voices, you put yourself in.
That most of the time, I'm just training myself by using this southern accent, really.
Mm-hmm. It goes a long way. So
I'm going to get that southern, actor part one day, and I'm going to have the voice.
One southern actor part that everyone is clamoring for.
Yeah,
I think Matthew McConaughey took it, though, honestly.
Yeah, you're right, he did.
So, all right, what happened next today?
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So I think I remember the big where I was just getting kind of the Fable Legends trailer. Yeah. I was just thinking, like, this is garbage.
Absolutely. Fable.
Like, that was the first point where I started feeling really impatient. Like, I tweeted at one point, I wish the show was like an America's Got Talent kind of thing where you could hit a buzzer and they have to leave and then the next one comes on.
Yeah. Oh God, they should give players the power to say, this part, you shouldn't have done this part of the conference. Let's skip this. Of
course, after I tweeted that, people were like, well, then E3 would only last like 10 minutes. Like,
that's right.
Overall.
Everybody would be hitting next. No, I'm done with it.
No, ADHD next.
Well, they would be, gamers, they want to press buttons inherently.
That's true, right? Yeah.
So, but yeah, I don't know. I felt the same way. The way I actually feel about it is that Fable should not exist.
I have a friend who played a couple of the Fable games, and so I saw kind of secondhand those. But then I heard the third Fable game is about when it went really kind of downhill, and then this one just looks worse.
I wrote the strategy guide for OneUp.com for Fable 3.
Really?
And it was the worst experience of my life.
R.I.P. One-Up.
What?
Is that R.I.P. One-Up?
R.I.P.
R.I.P.
Oh, Yes, I thought
you know how people die and then you put letters on the tombstone?
What does that mean?
Scott, I'll have you know these are not random consonants or random letters that you put on graves. This actually means
them are words.
Really interesting part of game is what that stands for.
Okay.
Yeah.
I got you. I'm sorry.
That's fine.
I derailed us again.
So anyway, yeah, Fable was totally uninteresting.
Yeah. Go away. What was that? I don't even know what I wrote there.
I'm just cycling through the notes now.
Oh shit, there it is. I mean, ours was funnier. Okay. You're right, but it's Super Ultra Dead Rising 3 Arcade Remix Hyper Edition EX Plus Alpha, which goddamn Capcom, thank you.
Every gaming title buzzword you can think of is there.
That's so fucking awesome that they're. I mean, self-parody is. I love it. So that's so cool.
So let's go into things. So you're probably most excited about. I was skeptical on. So maybe you can kind of talk me out of it and what makes you so enthused about this, and then I can make fun of you and make you feel bad as a person. So
you're not able to do that.
So Halo. So this is what surprised me the most is that it's the reception to the. Oh my God! Did Halo start something? So, okay, Halo. You know, everyone knows what it is. You're kind of with it or you're not at this point. You are a huge fan of the Halo franchise. You played all the games.
Yes.
Every single one. Okay. So, reception to the conference seemed pretty lukewarm up to that point. You know, you had your polite golf clap applause here and there. Then the Halo 2 thing, or the Halo thing, came up, and they were saying, like, all these games, you can play them, and people were just, like, losing their shit. They were like, yeah, I can play all this shit I've already played and beaten, yay, I don't care about the new stuff anymore.
And you know what's weird about that? The fact that people freaked out so hard, we all knew it was coming.
That's true.
Because this E3 was particularly grim in the fact that we knew almost everything that was coming. There were very few surprises.
That's a fair point.
What are they thinking as far as when they're putting out their trailers and putting out this pretty specific information about games that you know were going to be at E3? I mean, you knew they were coming, but you had no idea what they were about. And then E3, you see it for the first time. What was going on? What do you think was going through their minds when so many studios released their trailers and stuff before E3, and then didn't really have that much to show in the show?
That's a fair question. I honestly don't have an answer to that.
Okay. Let's move on then.
Yeah. Maybe someone in the comments can address it.
Okay. You can email me at jimbob@.com.
@.com.
and with that answer, please.
Okay, good. Okay, so another thing they were talking about with the...
I'm sorry, can I talk about why I'm so excited about Halo?
Well, let me say one more thing first, just to...
Yes.
One of the things I was a little confused as to why they were doing it, so... So, like, Halo 2, you can play the multiplayer as it was 10 years ago.
Yes.
Fuck yes, 10-year-old multiplayer.
Yeah.
Games have been dead since... I mean, so what's the enthusiasm for that? Going back to something that's, by many metrics, probably rather antiquated at this point, 10-year-old multiplayer. So why does that excite you?
It's charming.
Charming.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's nostalgia-ridden. If you're like me, which I know you are, you played Halo 1 so much that you've got a really special place in your heart for it, and you want the physics of Halo 1. You want the jump height.
But do you want the physics of Halo 2?
Well, I mean, a lot of people. A lot of people revere Halo 2 as probably the best multiplayer experience.
Okay.
I think the smartest thing that Microsoft could have done with this, and then they did it, was to include the original netcode for each version of Halo and run them on independent servers, and be able to have hoppers where they can mix and match, and you can jump from one game type to the other, and really feel how Halo's changed through the years. I just think it's a really smart move on their part, rather than doing what they did with Halo 1 Anniversary and just making it Reach with
Reach? Making it Halo Reach?
Halo Reach Around, I'm sorry.
No, Halo Reach.
Halo Reach.
Reach.
Halo Reach.
Halo Reach.
Reach.
Okay, so now it sounds like I'm saying hello to someone named Reach, so let's move on from that.
My name is Reach.
Hello, Reach.
So, yes, anyway. So I just think that was the smartest thing that Microsoft could have done. The only thing that I'm disappointed about really is that they, and I guess it's because they probably ran out of time, but is that only Halo 2 is going to be remastered and have the better graphics.
That's right.
Halo 3 is going to look like crap, and then it jumps to Halo 4 that looks amazing. You know, so I'm not understanding, except for maybe the fact that they just ran out of time, as to why they didn't remaster Halo 3 as well.
So you think they intend to do it at some point?
Are they going to release another version?
What was the ETH 2015 to release?
Yes. No. Oh, well, for the Master Chief Collection?
Yeah, there's so much going on, I don't remember when
it comes out in October. Or November.
Okay, so they probably will not be remastering.
Right. Yeah. Unless they did some crazy weird thing where next year they have the Master Chief Plus edition where Halo 3 is then, they go the Capcom route and they add one incremental thing and call it Plus.
Master Chief, and then it's the entire Titles of the Dead Rising thing.
There you go.
Added on to all that.
Yeah, exactly. But I'm excited for Halo for a lot of reasons. I'm excited about Halo 5 because I care about the lore. And so I really want to see what this is about.
Are you one of those people who reads the novelizations of Halo?
Every one of them.
How many are there?
Well, let's see. There's those three original ones. The one that recounted the game, the one that was like a prequel, and then the one that came after that. I can't really remember at this point what those were. But then there's. Are you okay?
Yeah. I'm doing some real-time diabetes management as we're doing this.
I thought you were dying. But
so it sounds like I'm flatlining right now, but I'm actually trying to adjust something that was presenting a problem. But no, I'm fine.
I was like worried that you had this straight look on your face, like, yeah, I'm listening to you, but I'm fucking dying right now.
Yeah. I had the pump like behind my back because I was trying to keep the noise of it, so it looked like I was hiding some secret shame.
Like, I'm sorry, I'm gonna die.
I'm really unhealthy right now, and I'm sad, ashamed of it.
Okay, but I'll just end it. I love Halo. Bye-bye.
So it plays to your it plays to you.
It's my demographic.
It's your demographic.
I'm in the Halo bro force, I guess.
Oh my god. I have to end this right now.
Can I do the rest of the podcast in my Halo helmet? Do you think you could hear me like?
No, just looking at it, it's It looks like you hunted Master Chief in like the most dangerous game, and like you found like 3 different versions of him.
I'm a predator. And
you're
what
a predator,
is, I'm finding the most dangerous game of Master Chief taking his head, and that recon guy, and the stupid Halo.
There's a lot of impressive figurines in here.
Oh, thanks.
I was telling people.
Yeah, whatever.
It was meant to be disparaging against you, actually.
Exactly. I just figured that out. I'm a little slow. I'm sorry.
All right. So what else happened in the Microsoft event?
Yeah, we need to move on from Microsoft.
Yeah, because there's many other ones to cover.
I don't think anything else except
Lara Croft's in therapy.
Exactly. That's all we need to know about that.
So that's that.
Witcher 3. I don't care. That game's combat is just too complex for me. Like, I mean, yeah, I've played games since I was 4, but for some reason, a game where you have to combine certain things and you have to have all these crazy strategies just to beat a certain monster, I'm just not into that. So I've just never wanted to play Witcher at all, so I didn't care about this
I played
at
a
all,
little bit of The Witcher 1, but just couldn't really get into it. I heard The Witcher 2 is a substantial upgrade from that, but I just never gave it a chance.
I played like the first 10 minutes of the first one. I played like the first hour of Witcher 2, so I have no interest in even ever looking at Witcher 3. So
that's fair.
Yeah. What else did we have with them? The Division looked pretty cool, I thought.
Let's see, was that there? I'm kind of mixing up all the different
shooter
games.
There were like too many of these, weren't there? Let's see.
The thing though.
Well, this was the one with the wait.
They do such a terrible job.
I don't remember either.
They do such a terrible job with the sort of scripted player banter.
Oh my God, that was the thing about this E3, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Was the games that were trying to pretend like, yes, I'm a real person right now, and I'm like, oh God, flank them to the right, or look out behind you. And it's supposed to be like
everybody's so remarkably calm the whole time.
Exactly, they are. They're like, I've got the left flank.
The thing that made me laugh the most, I don't remember if it was The Division or Shooter Game number 2, but there was some kind of hostage escort thing, and the hostage died, and they're like, oh, don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it. Just continue on. It's fine.
They're doing this thing where they're trying to make it sound like, kind of like a role-playing exercise.
Right.
They say things like, "Oh, sausage, it's fine."
Yeah. Well, that was the Rainbow Six one, right?
The Rainbow Six one.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah.
Because I mean that one actually looked really cool with the little drones you could send in, and then and how it had some of the things from the original Rainbow Six where you could plan a path first. Although it's not nearly as complex as the original Rainbow Six with its pathfinding. That looks promising to me.
Now, is that
it
different
was silly.
from the, what was the game that was the GTA, like, heist kind of scenario playing out with helicopters? Which game was that?
That is Battlefield.
Battlefield, that's
Battlefield,
right.
the
Battlefielder.
The Battlefielder.
Yeah, the Battlefielder
exactly.
is the subtitle.
Here's the weird thing to me about that is that they're calling urban warfare, like against cops and robbers, Battlefield. Like we're saying that, yeah, man, in the middle of like a suburban street could suddenly be a battlefield.
Hey, just another typical day in L.A.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. So anything else with Microsoft's conference?
Crackdown? Crackdown 3? Here it comes.
I honestly don't remember a thing about that, or maybe I tuned out for a second. What can you tell me about Crackdown?
Crackdown, the very first one was about like that agent. You're the agent, like agent. We have to do this,
Okay. That jogs my memory very well. Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. And you grew in power and could jump higher and basically just jump over buildings and stuff.
And then you become Agent Smith.
And crazy, yeah, absolutely. And you shot rocket launchers just like Agent Smith.
And then he comes in and says, "It's time to crack down." And there's this brief pause, and he winks at the camera.
You said you didn't remember this.
It's starting to come back to me.
I did jog your memory.
Yeah, it's the word association's helping me out a lot. Yeah.
So, and then Crackdown 2 was a big letdown because it was the same as Crackdown 1, which was inherently kind of not a great game. It was really like the first attempts at like, remember how kind of good Hulk was, where you could climb around the city? That Hulk, I can't remember the name of that Hulk game particularly. Did you play that one?
Hulkamania?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Macho Man was in it.
Yeah,
and
that's coming back.
He picked up Andre the Giant. You remember that?
Yeah, I remember that very well.
Yeah. So anyway, it's another Crackdown.
Yeah, I mean, when you crack down as much as you cracked down before, can you really crack down anymore?
No, by the third time, the crack is done. Down.
The crack is as down as it can get. I can't crack it anymore.
It can go no further. So yeah, don't buy that one, guys. My review is 0 out of 0.
Damn.
Yeah, let's go away from Microsoft if you don't mind.
Sure, let's go to Sony.
Yeah.
Let's cover the big three.
Yeah.
So Sony, I didn't get to watch live, but I went back and watched after the fact. So my overall opinion of the Sony one was there's some intriguing stuff on the horizon, but I'm not quite to where it's like I should get that console now.
Mm-hmm. Right.
But there's some promising things coming up.
Like if you're where I am with, I've already invested in the one, and they're basically the same machine except for, architecture-wise. So it really just comes down to their interface and then of course which first-party titles are more intriguing to me and everything. But it is interesting that Destiny is so attached to the PS4.
Oh yeah.
That they're getting so much extra stuff, which I wonder if they just didn't say, they said it's exclusive, but maybe they were just leaving out timed exclusive, like maybe the people that bought a 1 will get it eventually.
Okay.
But at the same time, I kind of want to leave the people that I play on on Xbox One and just get Destiny for PS4 to get all the extra stuff, like if it's not going to be, so I think they're playing kind of hardball as far as that goes.
Okay, interesting.
So I think they've got, that kind of philosophy against the 1. Like, they know it's down, so keep trying to hit them,
Really crack down on them, is what you're saying.
Well, they can't crack down on them because that one's an exclusive
that's
to
their
the
exclusive,
Xbox One,
so they actually can't legally crack down on them. Yeah.
Anyway.
What was that? What was that noise?
I have Tourette's. I'm sorry. I've been holding it back the whole time, but fuck!
That was the worst verbal nod of agreement I've ever heard.
I'm sorry.
Am I right?
Okay, I'm done.
Okay.
And plus, I want that white PS4, man.
Why do you want the white PS4?
I don't know.
Because you're a Southern and a supremacist?
Absolutely.
Okay.
All right, KKK forever, y'all.
Good, so moving on. What did you think about Sony's like letters being written to us thing as a marketing tool? I suppose.
I don't know, man. I don't know how I.
Do you think someone really wrote a letter to them that was just pictures of zombies?
I don't think
else?
so. I don't think so.
Dear Sony.
No.
Here's zombies.
I don't believe it. I don't believe that any of that was real. And I think
what about the letter that was just thank you, video games?
Yes. That's not real. No little kid did that.
Thank you, video games.
No. Absolutely not. And especially and they told you by the end that these weren't real when they had
that's right.
when they had oh god, my mind is bad at coming up with the names tonight. Made Psychonauts.
Mr. Psychonauts.
Mr. Psychonauts.
I think it's who you're thinking.
I see his face in my brain, but I can't say his name.
Well, you should get that checked out.
That's my rap, y'all.
So Dead Island 2, speaking of zombies, any interest in that? Did you play the first Dead Island?
I loved the first Dead Island.
See, I did not like the first Dead Island.
Oh, what's wrong with you?
I don't know, I just could not get into it. The open world aspect of it just didn't do it for me.
Let me ask you this one question. Did you use the button prompt to attack or the analog controls to attack?
I believe the analog controls.
Okay, well you're cool then, even if you didn't like the game, so we can move on from that.
Okay. Well, this podcast is about to get really awkward.
I mean, no, but here's the thing: the analog controls in that game is what made me excited to play that game. It's like a new way to think about like swinging a sword. I think a lot, or a pipe or whatever weapon you have. I think that's something that more probably like even third-person games should employ.
You are such a console gamer.
I'm
it's ridiculous.
Sorry. Hey, I have like 150 Steam games. I just don't play any of them.
150 Steam Mac games.
I do. And then I have like 180 games in total that I could play on Windows, but I don't ever want to boot into Windows. Yeah. So there you go.
You must be the only person who has a bunch of Steam games that they've never played.
I am.
I did
a survey of the world, and that's correct.
Yeah, you can do that now.
It's true information.
All right, so how about Man's Sky?
Yes, Man's Sky.
Okay.
And that's my answer to that. And that's covered.
That looks really neat.
Oh my god, dude! If they can pull that off, if it can be procedurally generated the way they were showing it, and maybe even be even better, because they're saying that they're constantly tweaking things, about the number of animals, the types of animals, the configurations of everything on each planet. Like they're making sure that you don't go to like 5 planets in a row with a blue sky. Like stuff like that, man. If it can be procedurally generated but also be smart enough to just keep showing you stuff new.
Yeah.
And the fact that like players claim planets in this infinite universe, that just
got so much potential.
Blows my mind if they can pull that off.
Yeah.
I'm worried they can't, because it sounds too good to be true.
You think might be an ultimate letdown?
I hope not.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm scared it might be, but I'll play it regardless. So, yeah.
And then there was Bloodborne.
Yeah, what?
So
you mean what was it? Beast?
Project Beast was the original name. I know you're
I like
not really
Project
into
Beast better than Bloodborne. They should have just kept that.
Every time I say Project Beast, I just want to flex.
Yeah.
It's like an X-Men DeviantArt.
I just keep thinking of Altered Beast, like a big wolf, and then I'm like, yeah, go with that. That's much better.
Altered Beast, what a great game.
Yeah, it really was. I'm going to try not to knock anything over as I change seating
Be very careful. So I know you're not much into the Dark Souls, Demon Souls thing. We talked a little bit about it while I was over here earlier, but I, as people may know, am a little into it. So, I mean, Bloodborne they didn't show any gameplay. It was just kind of like a guy walking around. It had a very gothy, neat-looking aesthetic behind it.
Yeah.
But it just didn't show me enough that I was like... I mean, it does look like it'll definitely be different than what we've seen in Dark Souls and Demon Souls so far, especially with the whole, gun aspect, first and foremost. I did see a little bit of gameplay footage, like a very brief, like, YouTube-recorded thing, like camera phone.
That came out before, like, they leaked that, right?
No, this was something during E3.
Something else?
Something at the event.
Because I know some footage of the game got leaked.
Oh, yeah, E3, there was a couple of animated files,
right,
more or less.
Yeah.
But I'm intrigued for sure, and looking forward to seeing what more is there. I don't want to quite hop on the, oh my god, I have to buy a PS4 now because Dark Souls.
Right, for that experience again.
But what is intriguing, of course, is that the guy who more or less helmed Demon Souls and Dark Souls, which are by most accounts the two most favorite games of the trilogy of the series. Well, not really trilogy, but whatever.
I mean, yeah, it is really.
Yeah.
So.
But the guy's back who was not involved in Dark Souls 2, which I have some more pessimistic thoughts about Dark Souls 2 after kind of having finished and being done with it. But I'm intrigued by the game.
Yeah.
That's kind of where E3 left me. Like, I want to see more, but I'm not picking up PS4 yet.
I might kind of be back on board because I'm remembering now that there was a zombie dog in that trailer.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to play that actually.
There you go. All it takes is some kind of zombie thing, and then
I'm there. I love it.
You're there. So then, so Sony was not all about games in their conference, so they talked a little bit about the PlayStation TV. Oh, what was it called? Is that called PS2?
Yeah, that's it.
Neat concept. I like how their approach is like, we want to get games to like everyone, even if you don't. I'm kind of skeptical. It feels like there has to be some kind of catch with like, if you want to play this game with your friend who has the game and you don't have it, you can play it too.
Yeah.
It's like, really?
Yeah. I mean, that's. I mean, wait. Are you talking more about the Far Cry 4 thing, or are you talking about like? Which part are you talking about?
I can't remember exactly what
the TV's just.
No, it's nothing to do with PlayStation TV.
I got you.
Somewhere else
I got
entirely.
you.
Let's go back to PlayStation TV.
Yeah,
so,
let's talk about that for just a second.
$99. Probably have to buy another memory card.
Yeah, nobody wants it. Bye.
Okay. If you live in a big household, like if you're like most gamers who live in a mansion,
absolutely,
who have at least 5 television sets.
Look at this house you're in right now.
Yeah. Guys, you would not believe there's like 6 HD TVs just in this one room.
Consuela, come in here. We need some more drinks.
She also has a PlayStation TV.
Yes.
Neat concept, I guess, but...
Yeah, I mean, I could see how it could benefit some people. I mean, it's definitely going to be good for like
the college crowd who's renting a house with a bunch of people.
Could be. I really see more of a mom that's like, I am not spending $400 on something for you. How about this little $99 thing which plays PS1 classics, plays PS2 stuff through because it's going to have the PlayStation Now capability, isn't it? Didn't they say that? Or
don't you have to have the PS4 itself first before you
do that? Okay,
so
maybe I'm
the
completely
PS
wrong about
that. So the
that.
PlayStation TV thing is like you can play your PS4 stuff, but on this other television. So.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. You're right about that. Well, but then the only thing about it is, well, yeah, it plays Vita games, but only most Vita games.
Right.
So, like, what?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just, it seems like a cash grab in a way to a certain group of people that they know will be like, well, yeah, I'll spend $99 all day long, but they don't really care about getting the full experience of a really current gen console.
Yeah, I'm just confused about what the catches are, or not the catches, but what the limitations are.
Right.
Of using that, which I feel like there has to be a number of little tiny pharmacy warnings underneath, like in a commercial or something.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Yeah.
Let's see. So what else did we have at Sony? Anything in your notes?
Let's see.
Oh yeah, they had that thing that they did at last E3 where they had the huge surround sound screens with every indie game you could possibly think of,
right?
Which I think was effective last year, and keep doing what's working.
Yeah.
So
I mean that was kind of exciting in both Sony and Microsoft conference. They had almost the exact same little thing where they just had the indie games rolling in a clip, quick clips of it. Where you could tell just in a real quick way if that's something you might be into or not.
Right.
And most of them looked like stuff that you could really get into. You know, indie developers that's where it's at, and they realize that right now. So both consoles do. I don't know if I even answered the question that you asked. I think I just started talking.
Let's just say you did and move on
All
to
right.
Okay, so you got Little Big Planet 3.
Who cares?
Okay.
What about the order? Did you see that?
I'm
excited about
that
just for one reason.
Of course, it had the zombie creature.
Zombie creature. It looked like a regular zombie at first, but then it turned into a werewolf zombie thing.
You let a trailer with no gameplay.
You're right. Oh God.
Get to you. You are what is wrong with gaming.
God damn it! You're right. I just made that argument 10 minutes ago, and I just broke it. Oh. Okay, let's get it. Let's go away from that then.
Okay, so you had Infamous Second Son DLC. I didn't play the first one.
Yeah.
Or not the first one. The original game. Standalone DLC. I remember.
Right. Yeah,
right?
it's the same way as Infamous 2 had standalone Halloween DLC that you could play by itself, or you could play in conjunction with the game, which I think gives you like a few extra bits of content within the DLC or something like that. So
yeah. Okay, so to get people hyped on, as a kind of Dark Souls fan, scroll down to your Bloodborne notes.
Okay.
So I want to just read your notes out loud.
Don't do it! Don't do it!
And I want to.
I was typing real fast.
I want to pretend.
I want
to pretend. I want to pretend that this is a marketer from Sony delivering a sales pitch. I'm just going to read this verbatim.
I think I might have to walk out of the room.
Okay, so guy in a suit walks into a boardroom. A whole bunch of suits in there. He's just come up with this idea for a new video game. He comes in. He sits down. He has this really smug look on his face. He knows he's got this group right where he wants them. So he comes in. He sits down, calmly clasps his hands together, makes direct eye contact slowly with everybody in the boardroom. He takes one deep breath and then says,
I'm sorry. Okay, go on.
Bloodborne. I just realized the next thing you said. Okay, Bloodborne from Software. He has to remind me.
I didn't know who it was from.
Oh yeah, we're all from Software. Because you forgot. So, okay, sorry. Need to get into character for this.
Yeah.
Bloodborne from Software. Liquid drops into...
Can you do this?
Damn it, I'm usually good at this.
You got it.
Okay.
I won't laugh.
Bloodborne from Software. Liquid drops into vat of other liquid. Baby carriage in old-timey city alley. Guys with torches. Very decayed dog monster. Guy with large monster. Guy with large monster hunter looking collapsible sword. Collapsible sword, yeah, I spelled that right.
I'm sorry.
Puts gun to hairy werewolf man. Puts gun to hairy werewolf man thing's head. 2015.
I need to write this for the... I need to write their...
I'm sorry, I didn't know I'd tickle myself so much just by reading that. Okay. Bloodborne from Software. Liquid drops into vat of other liquid. Baby carriage in old-timey city alley. Guys with torches. Very decayed dog monster. Guy with large monster hunter looking collapsible sword. Puts gun to hairy werewolf man thing's head. 2015.
Boom, bitches.
Wish instead of showing a trailer, they just had a guy come on stage with just a blank TV screen behind him, and he says that. Drops his microphone. And leaves.
I love that I wrote something so hilarious and had no idea. Thank you for bringing that to my attention.
It's all in how you frame it.
I know, you framed it perfectly.
Okay. Okay. Apologies for
let's just go for another 2 hours and you just read all my notes that way.
His notes are pretty much in line with what I just said. Like the absolute worst pitches you could possibly imagine.
Alright, so let's talk about Far Cry 4.
Alright, I'm not really qualified for this because I've never really played the Far Cry games. I do have Blood Dragon, played a little bit of it, but didn't give it enough of a shot. Have you... Yeah, sir. Have you played the Far Cry games?
I have played, I played the first Far Cry. I believe that was... Yeah, the first Far Cry was really weird because you're fighting humans for most of it. You're driving vehicles. It's really kind of cool. And then all of a sudden there's like these monster frogs or something. Like, it was weird. Yeah. And I just stopped playing it at that point. I mean, I love sci-fi, but I expected a different game, so I just quit playing it. Mm-hmm. And so I didn't play another one until, I skipped 2. I played 3 just because I saw some of the stuff about it, and just really hooked me. Far Cry 3 just has some incredible moments and some really inventive gameplay. Like it, and I mean, just the stuff that happens that like everybody knows about is like getting the tiger mad, so he rampages through the thing, and it makes it easier for you to take them down. Like just little like ambient things in the game like that.
And in Far Cry 4, you have scared elephants.
Exactly. They turned it up a notch.
Yes. And where do you go from scared elephants?
Like,
really,
a pachyderm will fuck you up. Mastodons, right?
Just dinosaurs. Why not?
Brontosaurus.
Yeah. Turn into Turok.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How about Majora's Mask's moon coming down at you?
And being panicked by gunshots.
Oh my God!
I didn't sign up for this, huh?
I'm excited to hurry up and get to Nintendo so we can talk about some other stuff. But
sure.
Far Cry 4, hang glider, a little grapple hook thing. Not hang glider, but wingsuit.
Very kind of cinematic-ish gameplay. It looks like.
Oh,
yeah.
Holy shit, man! Yeah, it just looks great. I think so. Yeah.
Okay, so we talked about Dead Island 2 already.
They're adding clickers and like The Last of Us zombie things to the Diablo 3
I completely
DLC.
missed that. Okay.
At least I think they, unless I like typed that. I don't know.
On paper that makes no sense to me, so
yeah, it's weird.
Let's just assume you fucked up.
Yeah. We already talked about Battlefield Hardline a little bit. Do you want to talk about that anymore? Elaborate on it? It's not really, I mean, it looks kind of cool, but I don't know about it.
Nah.
Like, they made Payday. That's what I'm thinking about, right? Yeah, the cops.
Yeah.
So.
Cops in the helicopters and the excessive use of police force.
Yeah.
Magic 2.
That was a good.
That was a cute trailer.
That was really funny.
That was it was cute.
Yeah.
Sony did notch up the cute in a lot of places.
I mean,
to their credit,
it was so cute that I was like, in 4 or 5 years, especially when they turn 18. I'm all over that.
I thought you were going, okay, that's... That went a very weird place very quickly.
I'm sorry.
Okay. So, let's see, anything else with Sony? I'll go through my own Twitter notes that I took.
We've got the Suda51 thing coming, which just looks like normal, crazy Suda51 stuff.
So if you like it, then you'll like it.
If you like Suda51, you will probably adore it. We talked about No Man's Sky.
They took a lot of notes.
I did. Sean Layton, President and CEO, SCEA PSN. Powerful ways to share your experience.
It's like you were
already available. Share Studio.
It looks like you were expecting a test after E3 was over.
Some of it I'd tried to type verbatim. Like I was just flying down the keyboard for some reason. I got so excited.
You gotta get into gaming journalism, man. You got you got the notes taking aspect down at least.
Yeah, definitely. Anyway, that was just. They're doing more playroom stuff, so I guess there's more ways for people to have sex and broadcast it to people if they want.
And that is what we want. Talked about Mortal Kombat. You got your PS Plus stuff. Oh yeah, the Phantom Pain.
Aha!
Of course, knew we forgot something.
Yeah.
All right, so vulture eating burned corpse, snake walking through battlefield, coffins burning. It's like Christopher Walken took the notes for this. Coffins burning, snake watching, snake takes on and smears ashes on his face. He has his red metal on. Ocelot on Big Shell keeps showing diamond dogs. Skimpy girl flipping around on guys. Blood all over Snake's face as he screams. Everyone's Christopher Walken impression, by the way, is identical.
Yes, but yours is like as close to perfect as I've heard in a long time. Oh my god.
But that sums up the Metal Gear Solid 5 trailer.
Yes, that's Metal Gear Solid 5.
I mean, of course, you expect a trailer for that to be all cinematics, which was.
Yeah, absolutely. Which is kind of weird. They already showed us that there's going to be cool stuff like riding horses and hiding behind them and big open world stuff, and then this is all they give us this year?
You can use Fulton Recovery on animals as well. Did you play Peace Walker?
Oh, no, yeah, we said that earlier. Yeah, I played like a little first bit of it.
Okay, well, Fulton Recovery is when you can strap a balloon to a guy and he flies up to your base.
Oh, okay, yes. Yeah,
well, apparently you can do that with animals now.
Oh, okay. So like that, it's like Snake Eater, but instead of eating them, you find the animal and you take them up to space.
Yes. To what end? I'm not sure.
This has been Kojima's plan the entire time. This is his story.
I want an all-animal army.
The island of Dr. Moreau, just with not animal humans, just animals.
The perfect soldier.
Or yeah, they just make the next Metal Gear completely organic, made out of all these animals. And then it's Resident Evil. So
they replaced the camo system with wearing animals, is what I'm thinking is going to be the case.
I'm a fox. Don't.
What's that?
Nobody. A fox.
Just a fox.
Don't you know what a fox looks like, buddy?
Blue one debate. Just a talking fox. It goes back to where he starts from.
Yeah, it turns around. You see his Soliton radar go the other way. He's just like, whatever, man.
Got me excited about the Phantom Pain now.
Yeah.
So then the kind of whatever stuff was like, hey, we're bringing Last of Us HD. I thought it was pretty HD already, but I guess for the people who are just getting into PS4 without playing the previous gen, wanting to get them into the games like that in GTA 5, great, okay, sure.
Yeah. The Last of Us comes with the DLC, right? So, I mean, that's kind of a cool way to consume.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Consume that product now in slightly better graphics and get both of those.
Yeah, that's true. Forgot about the DLC part.
And what do you think they'll charge for that? Do you think that's a $60 product?
No, it can't be.
It can't be, right?
No.
But do you think they'll try?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think so.
Okay.
Not with the original game probably already being discounted.
Right, yeah.
At least on online retailers.
But sometimes Sony's cocky like that. They're like, no, this could be $60. It's remastered. It's beautiful. Look, it's a newer game. We could charge $60.
I'm thinking like 40.
We could charge like $200 for this, right?
If you're including the DLC, I'm thinking 40.
And then you get the little Ellie statue or whatever with it. And no, you get the statue of
an Ellie amiibo.
Yeah, an amiibo. No, you get a statue of him holding like his dead daughter at the beginning of the game.
Like, are you talking about like a life-size statue?
Yes, a life-size. And only $200. Oh, but God, amiibos and Smash Brothers. Let's go in that direction.
But look, first, before we finish,
yes,
Batman Arkham Knight looks cool.
Yeah, it does. I didn't really care about the last one, but wow, this one looks pretty good.
I mean, just seeing Batman fly across the scope of the city and everything looks really fucking cool. And
the way he flew is the same way like the flight suit made me feel in Far Cry 4. Like the amazing acrobatics of it and like covering so much space so fast. That's so exciting.
Yeah.
And like I don't really know if I care about having the Batmobile at all. It doesn't look like it's going to be that advantageous really to have it, except for like that they'll do little bullshit like things.
Except for the heist missions where you needed to escape.
Exactly. But it did look pretty badass when he ejected from it like at 100 miles an hour and just gliding through the air.
Yeah, and just went into outer space.
Yeah, absolutely.
You kind of underestimated the...
And hey, why is he wearing an Iron Man suit at the beginning? Like the suit's like around him, like he's a transformer or some shit now.
Was Kevin Conroy back as the voice?
I hope so. I don't know, but I hope so. I mean, yeah, they replaced the Joker, but they replaced him very well.
Yeah, I just remember him kind of like, I wasn't sure if it was Kevin Conroy, but it sounded kind of like...
Yeah. I mean, it's a good...
I thought I remember him saying he was retiring as well, but I just can't remember off the top of my head.
Yeah.
Lots of YouTube comments for this one, I'm thinking. And then you had the Uncharted 4 thing, which was just a brief cutscene, so...
But hey, what...
And Naughty Dog's been having a lot of, like, people leave as well, so...
Yeah, like their head writer and, like...
The creative director, right?
Yeah, the creative director, and, I mean, they're all going somewhere else to do something new. So they're all so tired of Uncharted.
Well, it's not surprising given that they just showed a very brief, very great-looking cutscene, but then nothing else.
And don't you think Sully dies in this one?
No.
Isn't that exactly what they implied in this trailer? That Sully's gonna die?
They wouldn't. Uncharted is too happy of a franchise
You're absolutely right.
To let Sully die. Come on.
Sunshine and rainbows.
And weird cursed shit, but you can't let Sully die. That would sully the mood of Uncharted.
You're right.
No. The whole series would be dead to me if they let Sully die.
Fine. And Last Guardian. That was a great... Did you see that trailer? Holy shit!
So how about Nintendo?
Nintendo.
Last of the three major ones.
This is all I wrote because
you wrote one note on Nintendo.
I got so enamored with, and I'm not going to let you read this because that is like.
Oh, come on, let me read that.
No, that's my own personal note, and God, that would be weird if you read that.
Okay. All right. Well, I saw the.
I got real.
I saw the first sentence, and basically
Nintendo.
it said you just got into watching it. And actually, it's kind of the same way too. So I'm, I'm like an asshole and was doing this like snarky tweet bullshit. But then with the Nintendo
you
stuff,
did less of them during that.
I did less of it. I was inclined to pay attention a little bit more. So, I mean, first of all, you got to get behind a company that has their leadership do anime fights with each other. For one,
they should have just stopped right there and.
That was the whole thing. That was the whole digital event.
Yeah.
Okay, so they lead off with Smash Brothers.
Of course.
And I should mention, I happened to come into a Wii U recently. That was a really perfect way to say that.
You came into a Wii U,
That was the worst way I could have possibly said that. But,
oh, man, that's hot.
I happen to have one now.
But you can't use it because you...
Fortunate circumstances, but due to my illicit activities with it, that doesn't work.
I'll buy you another one.
So that being said, that's made me much more interested in what Nintendo had to say. So okay, Smash Brothers kicked off with it, and it's Smash Brothers.
But it's the weirdest thing. Mario Kart is Mario Kart, and that makes me not care about it. But Smash Brothers is Smash Brothers, but I care about that.
Interesting. See, I want to get Mario Kart 8.
Okay, so you're on. Are you?
I'm on the Mario Kart
on the other end of the spectrum then? Or are you excited about both?
I'm excited about both. Well, Mario Kart's already out, and I want to get it eventually, which I will. I just can't right now, but it just looks so fun.
Yeah.
There's so much pure joy in the footage I've seen of it, and I really want to play it.
Yeah.
And Smash Brothers looks like, that as well, but it's Smash Brothers.
Yes.
I don't really know what to say. Okay, so Amiibos.
Amiibos. I was going to say that. That was the next word coming out of my mouth.
Okay. What do you think about them?
I think that Amiibos are kind of cool, and this is coming from a guy that says, fuck Skylanders and Disney University or whatever it's called.
Okay. So can you explain your understanding of how they work?
All right, so it's NFC technology. So the kind of cool thing about it is obviously that the gamepad in the Wii U wasn't originally designed to take advantage of this. It's just something that they haven't, done up until this point. I guess they were too focused on the first year of doing the Wii U and doing all the gamepad stuff they could do. So this has probably been in development for a while, but even though it's something as silly as basically Skylanders. But you don't need a portal because the gamepad has it built in, so you set the little figurine down and it changes the gameplay in some manner.
Okay. Yep.
And I think that could be a cool mechanic, especially a cool mechanic for little kids.
Such as yourself.
And then especially a cool mechanic for little kids like me that want to put little figures of Mario and Zelda on my wall. So, and nail them directly to the wall and ruin the figure, because that's how I roll.
Okay. So they work like you were saying.
Yeah.
Like summons, essentially?
Mm-hmm.
Is how your takeaway from it?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I got the impression that you could use them in more than one game. Mm-hmm. That they would have different effects on different first-party Nintendo games.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
That would be, I don't know, that's interesting. It's a cool way to flip the whole Skylanders thing and do kind of the same thing, but maybe better. Mm-hmm. Because, I don't know, that game doesn't look interesting to me at all, Skylanders.
Okay, yeah.
But if you're altering an awesome game in some way, then that's kind of a cooler idea for the same kind of technology.
I gotcha. Okay, so now if you were to make a chessboard using Amiibos, would the queen be Zelda or Peach? And would the king be Mario or Link, from your perspective?
I plead the fifth.
Okay. Who would the pawns be?
Toads.
Well, Toad's not a Smash Bros. Character. Is he?
They haven't announced it yet.
They haven't announced it yet.
I have some insider knowledge that Toad will be the final boss of Super Smash Brothers Wii U.
It's like Master Hand, only just Toad's head smacking on the final destination board.
No, he pops up like Andross and it's just like
spits polygons at you.
Yeah.
Oh no, instead of going boom boom, it goes.
It's perfect.
Yeah. I don't know if I could stand that. Alright, so then then the cute got ramped up to like near unbearable portions with I can't remember what it was called, the Yoshi version of Kirby's Epic Yarn.
I also had to write the strategy guide for Kirby's Epic Yarn. You've named 3.
Wait, you need a strategy guide for Kirby's Epic Yarn?
I wrote it. So it was like writing to a 5-year-old or something. Like it was, oh my God. You know, I made money doing it.
First,
so
put down your fucking bottle. Get your mommy to change your goddamn diaper. And then yarn. Then move to the right? I don't know what's this.
I don't know.
You may fall into a pit, but that's okay. Just keep going to the right.
Man, all I fucking care about is that you're shooting yarn eggs, and that's cute, and man, more Yoshi's Island, let me have it. You know?
There you go.
Love Yoshi's Island, so...
Okay, so what do you think about the Captain Toad game?
I didn't see too much of that. I saw a little bit of it on the Nintendo Treehouse thing, but I only caught, literally 10 seconds, the very end. So
it's much more puzzle based than other types of Mario games. So it's like you're Toad, but he can't jump, as far as I could see in the gameplay that I saw.
Uh-huh.
But it's just kind of sort of seeing basically a far out view of a small map, and you have to. It's kind of like an escape the room type game in a way.
Okay.
Only the escape from the room thing is getting the star, so you just have to kind of do little puzzles, unlock paths, kind of spin your perspective around, and get Toad to. Where the thing
oh my
is.
God! Is it like 3D Fez?
Kind of.
Only without the weird meta game of seeing these weird spiritual messages or whatever.
That's an interesting way to put it.
Or what if it has that too? What if Toad gives you these Dalai Lama Gandhi quotes? I don't know.
Soul.
Dama Lama, Dama Huma.
I mean, at first I was kind of skeptical of a game where you play as Toad.
Yeah.
But then, just watching it though, it's this looks like it could be interesting and fun to play. A different slant on playing Mario stuff. And, they had Toad pulling shit out of the ground, but is it really fast? Because he was the fast item puller dude in Mario 2.
Absolutely. And oh my God, having some Mario 2 something in a game finally, in a 3D game, pulling turnips up and throwing them at Shy Guys.
And they had some neat stuff with the tablet controller as well. You kind of go into a first-person view, on the controller, and you have Toad, fire... I don't know, let's just say bullets out of, and to kill enemies along the way. But on the TV, it's just kind of a cinematic view of Toad, moving along a track, on a minecart.
Oh, okay. That sounds interesting.
Yeah,
and you know what? And I'm excited that, there's I forgot if we already talked about this or we were talking about this earlier, but either way, you can just delete it if I've already said this.
I'm just deleting this whole thing, honestly.
Yeah, right. It's just going to be you talking and all my parts cut out.
Right.
But, people keep calling for Nintendo to do new IPs, and they don't need to lean on that because they have all the IPs they need, really. They don't have to really come up with anything new. They just have to come up with new, innovative ways of using those, and this sounds like a game that does that. Yeah. And plus, give Toad his own game. Cool. You know?
Sure, why not?
I think every Nintendo character probably needs his own game. Hey, bring Ice Climbers back.
What about Goomba?
That would probably be an amazing game.
What would a game as Goomba be like?
It would
the
be
hardest damn game in the world?
Yeah, because you're avoiding this goddamn huge man landing on you.
If it rains...
But you can't really avoid it.
If you get hit by a raindrop, you're dead.
Yeah.
Right?
Poor little Goomba. Yeah.
Poor Goomba.
No, it's Dark Souls.
It's Dark Souls.
You're a Goomba, but it's Dark Souls.
I want to see a Goomba in Dark Souls.
Somebody mod that real quick.
Do it. Okay, so then you also had... Bayonetta.
Yeah.
Oh, there was Pokemon too, but I don't think either of us is...
Pokemans? I don't know about those.
Okay.
I played Blue. That's the only Pokemon game I've ever played.
There you go.
So...
More than I have.
No, except Pokemon Snap. Make Pokemon Snap for the Wii U. What the hell? Did you ever play...
Tablet controller is the camera?
Yes! Yeah. I mean, they showed that kind of technology when they introduced the Wii U, and then it seemed so obvious that was going to be a game, and it's still not. That seems really odd. People want to throw apples at Pokemon.
I wasn't aware of that.
Oh yeah, Bayonetta. I liked the first one. I thought it was wacky enough. I mean, it had that Devil May Cry kind of feel.
Yeah.
I mean, which obviously even the gameplay did.
It might be something I eventually pick up since the second game comes packaged with the first game.
I didn't realize that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Yep. And
you know what? It's worth it then. Even if the second game sucks, do that.
And did you see where they had her in Nintendo character costumes?
That kind of rocked.
That was really
that was I was not expecting that at all. So that is cool. But hey, does her silky hair turn into those costumes? Does she start out nude and then Peach's costume, like her hair's turning pink?
You know what? Let's keep it
flowing
PG
around
rated, man. Come on, why you always got to go to nudity?
I'm sorry.
I
love titties, man. God, I'm sorry.
You're naked right now. I just thought I should address that.
Stop looking at my dick, man. I see your eyes.
Sorry.
Up here, buddy.
You see with your dick?
Doesn't everybody?
So Mario Maker. Oh yeah, there's also another Kirby game.
The Kirby game was the one that's like the DS game, which I never played, but oh my god, that looks cool. Like controlling the path with the yarn or whatever the hell. Looks fucking adorable. Yeah.
Looks so fucking cute.
And sometimes you just want to play a damn cute game.
Don't you?
Yes. The answer is yes.
There you go. Okay, so Mario Maker I thought was interesting. So it's like Nintendo's answer to both. So Nintendo, I think, clearly noticed that a lot of people were hacking Mario World and other Mario games, and then I think they took a cue from Minecraft, and then we can get in on this. This is something people want to do, and I don't know, it is what it is. You can make Mario levels.
It could practically be the best thing that was shown at E3. I mean, not practically. I mean, it may very well be the coolest thing that was shown at E3 this year, really.
And why do you say that?
Really just because that's Nintendo taking a right turn and doing something that you really wouldn't expect them to do. To take a classic franchise like that and basically copy what a lot of other people have been doing and make their money off of it, you know? So I applaud them for doing it, for making an official one.
Yeah.
But it also, like just like you mentioned, I don't know, that's kind of shitty too, isn't it? Like
that's one thing I'm thinking about, like with all these ROM hack videos that people make out there and people want to do Let's Plays of them.
Yeah.
Does this give Nintendo an opportunity to say, like, okay, you can't do these videos anymore, this is ours, you need to use this thing. You need to make your own levels using what we made, not what some bozo made out there.
Right.
So you got to use our thing.
Yeah.
I don't know if they would do that, but there's a potential for it for sure.
Yeah. And then there's that, I mean, that was kind of a conspiracy theory a little bit, really, but what if somebody at Nintendo just saw Little Big Planet, kind of, in a way, you know, and said we could build a level.
With our most beloved franchise ever.
Instead of the awful jump mechanics in Little Big Planet. So, you know, but it's more than that, you know, really. So I don't know, I think it's a great idea, and I'm glad they're doing it.
And I'd just like to apologize to Proton John for his life being effectively over after this. That's a joke you won't understand, but that's okay.
I'm sorry, Proton John.
I'm sorry, Proton John. Your life is going to end soon, and this is going to be what it is.
You know, I know him personally.
Yeah.
And Neutron Jill, his sister. That was the best joke, wasn't it?
Okay.
Please don't delete that.
Let's talk about... Shit, what's it called? The Ink game?
The what?
The Ink shooter game that I suddenly forgetting the name of.
Splooge?
Splooge.
I think it's called Splooger.
Splooger, the game, yeah. So what do you think? So that's a neat answer to Nintendo's rather neat answer to the popular multiplayer shooter games that are out there, making one of their own, kind of first of its kind for Nintendo.
Yeah.
But not having it be like a gritty kind of shooter thing, but putting their own kind of identity behind it.
Nintendo knows they don't need to go that way.
Yeah.
They saw the Western influence in the type of game like that and realized that the Western market wants that type of game, but then put their own like puzzle spin on it where you can't cross the paths with the paint that's coming out or whatever it is. It's a weird concept though, these little kids turning into squids and then jumping through splooge.
Yeah.
But
actually, speaking of, well, you said speaking of splooge,
sure.
Someone actually wrote like an article. I think it was on something like Kotaku, so who cares? But it was could this game be a metaphor for fucking?
Are you serious?
Yeah, someone's like, so they jump out, so they gotta jump out, and is it sperm?
You're probably right, it was Kotaku. I mean, fuck Kotaku, man, god damn it.
I'm pretty sure it was, but they're jumping, these squids jumping, are those sperm?
That is absolutely...
So is Nintendo getting their perv on with the kids?
I'll give you $10 if that's not Kotaku. Yeah, but I mean, it looks really interesting. It looks like
Yeah.
they're taking a Western idea, giving it their own spin, and hopefully it succeeds here.
It looks really fun.
Yeah, I mean, I see a lot of adults playing Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare, and I even kind of want to get it. You know, like I'm into shooters, and then that one's got kind of cool mechanics, like maybe not as many options as a lot of, you know, real in-depth multiplayer shooter games, but it scratches the itch of a shooter game. But you know, sometimes you don't want to just be shooting stuff to bloody pulp.
Yeah.
So I appreciate that they can use that mechanic in a cute game.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yeah, for sure.
So.
Color me intrigued by it.
Yeah.
Color me with ink intrigued by it.
Okay.
Thank you. So I think that sums up everything with Nintendo, unless we missed anything.
And then who cares anything about Ubisoft, really? Or EA?
Well, EA just wants to remind you that sports are still a thing.
Mm-hmm.
So
there are professional sports, and they do make video games about
So they
them.
still have the sports.
Sports!
The sports games is... So if you want to do sport...
I love sports!
If you want to do the sport, then you can
Sport. Sporty Spice?
Sporty Spice.
Sporty Spice is the new mascot of EA. That's an official fact. Please go to Wikipedia and update Sporty Spice's and EA's pages
I wouldn't put that past them. I'm trying to think if there's anything particularly stand out-ish about EA or Ubisoft, but I cannot remember off the top of my head.
Okay. Yeah, Ubisoft, Assassin's Creed.
Sure.
And the weird controversy about there not being a female assassin.
I didn't hear like how that came about. What was?
Yeah, I don't really understand. I think there was just some
Was it like somebody asking them a question about it? Or
yeah,
like
I think that was it.
I think
they asked them why no female assassins.
Do you mean like with with the multiplayer aspect, like why you can't choose between?
Right, where when your co-op people jump in.
Oh, okay. Right.
Yeah, and maybe you can. Like, who knows if you can? Like, we don't really know. But anyway, I think somebody at Ubisoft gave like a flippant answer. And then one of the designers, one of the animators at Ubisoft, said it would have taken me like a small amount of like 30 minutes or something to animate a model of a female assassin. They just didn't do it for some reason. So a lot of people are like, I mean, I don't really care. I'm not really into this whole like masculine, feminine versus, you know.
So it's more people just saying like people calling bullshit on their answer.
Kind of, yeah. I think so, yeah.
I mean, like, that doesn't sound true.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
So, really, that was the story more than anything about Assassin's Creed. Unity. Except that, I mean, hey, the idea is kind of cool. Assassin's Creed with 3 other people. Like, you're all running around the same spot, like, helping each other assassinate stuff. Like, that could be a cool concept. That could be a way to kind of reinvent.
Not even people, just stuff.
Just stuff.
Yeah, just whatever you find. Like,
you find that hay bale and you're like, I'm going to fucking kill this thing.
Is that a wheelbarrow? You are dead.
Yes.
You throat slash on a wheelbarrow. I want to see that.
He's just sticking his wrist blade into it over and over again, and somebody walks
I need help!
Like, what are you doing, dude? The assassins have really fallen off. That's why the Templars are winning, man.
Right. Okay, so and then there was that Bruce Lee UFC game, which was just kind of which was just kind of odd.
That's all I have to say about that is what.
And they spent like a lot of time on it too. Like, we got Bruce Lee, right?
Well, there were weird things that they spent a lot of time on. How about Brian Michael Bendis coming out and talking about powers for like what seemed like 30 minutes during Sony's conference. Oh, yeah. I'm sorry, we're jumping around a little bit.
No, that's fine. Kind of wrapping it up.
Because he came out, I mean, I love Brian Michael Bendis. He's a brilliant writer. I actually haven't read Powers, but I read a lot of Ultimate Spider-Man from like Volume 1 all the way through like Volume like 20-something, and then I stopped reading it. But, I mean, he was an influential force in creating that, and he's great, and apparently Powers is really great. So it's cool that Sony is trying to kind of do the same thing Microsoft was saying that they're doing last year. It feels, I guess they have the lead enough that they're like, hey, we can do original programming too, you know. Okay. But they talked about it a really long time. Like, people were just yawning, and
I must have phased out during that part because I just
fell asleep.
I'm having trouble remembering it.
It was boring, but I mean, it's cool that they're doing it, I guess.
Okay.
But it's also weird to see them go from last year, games, and Microsoft being the one like media, entertainment, and games.
Mm-hmm.
And then this year, Microsoft's like games, and they're now releasing their own original like content, like Netflix is doing, and like Amazon Prime is doing, and stuff. You know, like everybody's making their own original content now. So Sony felt like they had to do it too, I guess. But anyway,
there you go.
Both consoles are trying to keep up with each other. And
do you think the Wii U now is going to start to get more?
I think so.
Up to speed with them?
I think so, in a way that's completely different than Sony or Microsoft. In a way that that Nintendo can really just kind of give the middle finger to third parties and say, we make games that are so good people buy our consoles just to play our shit.
They do like to let the kind of fight amongst themselves and then just do their own thing.
Yeah, and if you'll notice, just with the Wii and the Wii U, and especially with the Wii U, third parties just dropped off immediately.
Right, yeah.
But all that mattered was that your Mario and Zelda and all that were there because they always make an outstanding game.
Yeah, the problem is just those weren't there at first, except with just the New Super Mario
exactly.
U. And
so it's like you have a console that's worthless for a while, and then suddenly there's great stuff for it. It seems like, it almost seems like Nintendo never is ready with their software when their consoles come out.
Yeah,
that's weird. Like they used to be, like the SNES coming with Super Mario World, right?
Yeah.
Like boom, perfect.
Right out the gate.
But like the Wii and the Wii U. Like, what was there?
I can't even remember. Like, Super Mario U was there, but then we've played that game before.
Yeah.
So.
And then they really just banked on people playing bowling and tennis.
Oh yeah.
And that's what most people did with their Wii. So.
Yeah, for a very long time.
Yeah. So I don't know. Nintendo has come a long way in 1 year. That's what I'll say about that.
Yeah, like Mario Kart 8 made sales of it skyrocket. I think at least in the Euro region.
And what is it? It's some crazy number. Like all of the Mario Karts sold, like by all the different on each console since it came out on the Super NES. Combined is like some ridiculous in the millions, like high millions. It's crazy, all of them combined. Like one of them sold over 12 million. I think the 3DS.
The 3DS version probably
sold like 12 million. Yeah. So people love their Mario Kart. I don't really, but people do.
It's okay to have opinions.
I don't want a blue spark around a corner again, really.
It's okay to like what you like, man.
Okay.
Just know that you'll be less of a person because of it.
I know that. I'm okay with that.
So any closing thoughts? Anything we didn't cover?
Video games!
I think that about sums it up.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, thanks, folks, for listening. Hope you enjoyed this in-depth E3 discussion from two shitlords.
Yes.
So until next time, bye-bye.
Thank you.